Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to start with an interesting topic, that is banking concept. Today we are going to start with banking concept and finance. Now, before starting this topic, we need to know what is the meaning of banking. What is bank? You all have heard about the word bank. Now, what are the roles of bank? What is the bank known as? What is the purpose of forming a bank? What the bank do? That we will discuss in this topic, that is banking. Now, Banking Regulation Act of India 1949 defines banking as accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, or withdrawal by check, draft order, or otherwise. In banking, what banks do, they will accept your deposit. Whatever money you have, you can deposit money in the bank. For depositing money in the bank, you can either have saving account or current account. Current account is opened by a businessman, and saving accounts can be opened by a normal person. So bank will accept your money. They will keep your money safe. If you want to keep your money safe, you can deposit it in bank. And in spite of keeping your money safe, the bank will also give you interest on your money. You can earn an income on your money if you will keep your money in the bank. Now bank accept deposit from all over the world or all over the country. Now what the bank do with this money, that they are able to give you the interest. The bank invest this money in some shares, securities, debentures, and also bank will give the loan to the people who want to take a loan for car loan, mobile loan, house loan, personal loan, business loan, education. So what bank do? Bank accept your deposit and they will give you low rate of interest. And when the bank will give this money in the market, they will charge high rate of interest. So they will give low rate of interest and they charge high rate of interest. So the difference is the earning of the bank. So this is how the banks earn the money, and this is how the bank. This is what the bank do with the money that is deposited with the bank. So, Banking Regulation Act of India 1949 defines banking as accepting for the purpose of leading or of investing or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, or withdrawal by check, draft order, or otherwise. And you can also withdraw your money from the bank whenever you like to withdraw by check, demand order, or otherwise. The Reserve Bank of India 1934 and Banking Regulation Act 1949 governs the banking operations in India. Banking Regulation Act 1949 define banking, again I am explaining, define banking as accepting the money of public for the purpose of investment of that money in some shares, security, debentures, etc., or investment of deposits of money from the public repayable on demand. That money is repayable on demand, otherwise by check or demand or RTGS, anything like that. RBI Act 1934, that is Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, and Banking Regulation Act 1949 governs the banking operation in India. In India, banking operations are governed by RBI Act 1934 and Banking Regulation Act 1949. Concept of banking. Some people go to bank in search of a safe place to keep their money. I told you that many people go to bank in search of a safe place so that their money can be kept safe in the bank. Others, other people are seeking to borrow money from the bank so that they can buy a house, a car, and start a business, pay for their college fees, etc. So, बच्चों, the people who keep their money in bank, Bank utilize that money by investing that money or giving loan to the public who need that money. So where do bank get the money to lend? They get it from people who open accounts and maintaining it. Banks act as go between for people who save it and people who want to borrow. If savers did not put their money in banks, the bank would have little or no money to lend. So, बच्चों, bank act as an intermediate. Bank act as an intermediate link between the person who want to deposit the money and the person who is in the requirement of money. So, bank act as an intermediate. If savers, if the person do not put their money in bank, bank will have little or no money to give to the people to lend. Your savings are combined with the savings of others to form a big pool of money, and the bank uses that money to bank loan. Now, the savings of all the persons are combined together to form a big pool of money. Now, bank uses that money to give loan to the public. The money does not belong to bank's president or board of director or stockholder. The money that is deposited in the bank is of the customers, not of the bank president or bank owner or board of director or stockholder of the bank. It belongs to the depositors. That's why banks have a special obligation not to take big risks when they make loans. That's why in India, banking system is very rigid. They do not want to take big risk. They give you loan only after taking care of the complete inquiry. They will check your ITR, your bank statement. They will send inquiry at your house, and when they are satisfied, only after that they will provide you the loan. Because if they give loan to some wrong person, then the money they have to pay from their own pocket. Because the bank have the money, that money is not of bank. That money is of the public. That's why bankers have a special obligation not to take big risks when they make loans. Banking structure in India. A well regulated banking system is a key comfort for local and foreign stakeholders in any country. A well regulated banking system is a key comfort for local and foreign stakeholder in any country. So, बच्चों, a well-regulated banking system is a key comfort for local and foreign stakeholders in any country. बच्चों, our Indian banking system is very well regulated. So the people in India and from outside India, they like to deposit money in our banks. We have prudent banking regulation. Prudent banking regulation is recognized as one of the reasons why India was less affected by the global financial crisis. But so when there was the financial crisis all over the world, India was very less affected. The reason behind it is the prudent banking regulation. Prudent banking regulation means that the regulation banking system in India is very tough, is very rigid. The bankers do not give a loan easily. They will look into the future. They will look everything and they will give the loan very carefully. So banks can be broadly categorized as commercial banks and cooperative banks. We will discuss in detail what is commercial and cooperative bank, but still I am just giving you a brief introduction. Commercial banks are those banks which are established to earn money, to earn profit. Commercial banks are those banks which are established to earn profit. They do not give loan easily. They accept deposits from the public. They invest the money. They lend the public money to the needy people. And cooperative banks, their main motive is not to earn profit but to provide service to its members. These banks provide loan mainly to farmers, small scale industries, so that they can grow in future. Banks which meet specific criteria are included in the second schedule of the RBI Act 1934. These are called scheduled banks. They may be commercial banks or cooperative banks. Scheduled banks are considered to be safer and are entitled to special facilities like refinancing from RBI. Inclusion in the scheme also comes with its responsibilities or reporting to RBI and maintaining a percentage of demand and time liabilities as CRR cash ratio with RBI. So, बच्चों RBI have a schedule, that is second schedule of RBI 1934. In that schedule, there are some criteria, rules and regulations that are given. The banks which fulfill all those criteria or rules and regulations will be considered as scheduled bank. Scheduled banks are considered to be safer. People have trust on scheduled bank. For example, SBI, PNB, ICICI, Axis Bank, HDFC. All these are scheduled banks. These are considered to be the safer banks, and people have huge amount of trust and uh, confidence in these banks. These banks can take loan from RBI as well. RBI gives the loan to scheduled banks only. Inclusion in second schedule also comes with responsibility of reporting to RBI. These banks they have to report regularly to RBI and have to maintain a CRR with RBI. CRR means cash reserve ratio. Cash reserve ratio means they have to deposit some cash in with RBI as a security. For example, 10 crore, 15 crore, 100 crore, whatever the amount is, they have to deposit that money with the RBI as security. So this is the concept of banking. What is banking? I hope you all have understood now what is banking. So I'm sharing another PPT with you now. Functions of a bank. What are the functions of a bank? Number one, it accepts deposit from the customers who can take their money at will. Bank accept deposit from the customer and the customers can take their money whenever they require at their will. A saving bank also pay interest to customers on their deposits and is popular with small savers. The saving bank can also saving bank. If you have opened a saving account in a bank, the bank will pay you interest. And if you have opened a current account, the bank will never give you interest on current account. Saving bank can be opened by any person. Current account can be opened only if you are running a business. Current account is open for businessmen only. Customers can leave their cash with the bank as saving account, current account, fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit account means what is fixed deposit? The deposit that you have made in bank for a fixed period of time. So suppose 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And after 5 years, 10 years or 15 years, whatever time is, the bank will return your FD amount to you along with a very handsome amount of interest. Customer deposit their money in saving account to save a part of their current income to meet their future needs and also intended to earn an income from their saving. Suppose I am earning rupees 1 lakh per month. Out of this 1 lakh, my expenses are 50,000. What I do with the remaining 50,000? I deposited money in my saving account so that my money can be kept safe as well as I will earn income of interest. I will earn income of interest on that money that I deposited with the bank. A current account, on the other hand, is running account, which may be operated upon any number of time during a working day. There is no restriction on the number and amount of withdrawal. Bank does not pay any interest. I told you a current account can be opened only for businessmen. If you are running a business, you have to give the details of the business to the bank. Only then they will open your current account. So the motive of current account is to do the business through the account. So it keeps on running. You do huge amount of transaction. You do huge amount of transaction in the bank every day, maybe 10 transaction, 100 transaction, 1000 transaction, 2000 transaction. You can take any number of transaction during a working day. There is no restriction on the number and amount of withdrawal. You can withdraw money as many times as you want. The bank does not pay any interest. Bank does not pay any interest on current account. B. A bank lends money to needy people at a certain interest rate. Bank give loan to agriculturists, industrialists, and businessmen who invest it in their ventures to their own profit and to the economic advancement of country. A bank lends money to needy people at a certain interest rate. The people who need the money, bank lend their money at a certain interest rate. Bank give loan to agriculturists, industrialists, businessmen who invest in their venture to make their own profit and to the economic advancement of country. So बच्चों, bank lend money to needy people at certain interest rate. Bank will give loan to agriculturists, industrialists, businessmen who invest in their ventures at their own profit and to the economic advancement of the country. Now, what bank to bank also issue note and create other inexpensive media of exchange a note or check. But to bank also issue note. Now, how this will help you? Suppose I want a mobile phone. I will go to a shop. I will purchase the mobile phone. In exchange, I will give him the cash notes. So that will help you in exchange. Bank also gives you check if you want to make payment to someone for purchasing anything or for expenses. You can give him the check. So the currency notes are issued by RBI, Reserve Bank of India of the country. Collection of check drawn upon on other bank. Suppose Mr. A want to make a payment of 10,000 to Mr. B. Now Mr. A bank account is in SBI and Mr. B's bank account is in ICICI Bank. So Mr. A drawn a check of 10,000 of SBI bank and given to Mr. B. Now Mr. B will deposit a check in ICICI Bank, and now ICICI Bank will collect the money from SBI Bank and will deposit the money in Mr. B's account. The acceptance and collection of bill of exchange. Bank also accept and collect bill of exchange. Now, how bill of exchange work? What is bill of exchange? Suppose I am running a clothes shop. Mr. Ram or Mr. Rahul comes at my shop and purchase clothes of rupees 10,000. Now, at the time of bill, I ask Rahul to pay me 10,000 for the clothes he has purchased. Mr. Rahul told me that he do not have 10,000 rupees. He told me that he will give me 10,000 rupees after 3 months. I said, no, I don't believe you. You do one thing. I'm making a bill of exchange. In that bill of exchange, I have written that Mr. Rahul has taken clothes from me and rupees 10,000 he will pay after 3 months. And I said Rahul to put signature. Rahul has put the signature. Now after 3 months, I will take the bill to the Rahul and then the Rahul will give me 10,000 rupees. Now suppose after 1 month I need the money, but Rahul will pay me the money after 3 months. So after 1 month I go to the bank and I said to the bank that bank, I want this money right now. You can collect this money from Rahul after 3 months. Bank said okay, but we will deduct some commission. So bank has deducted 500 rupees commission and has paid me 9,500 rupees. Now on the due date, bank will go to Rahul and collect 10,000 rupees. So bank will earn 500 rupees. So this is one of the function of bank. They accept and collect bill of exchange. Dealing in foreign exchange to assist the settlement of overseas debts. Bank also deal in foreign exchange to assist the settlement of overseas debt. What is foreign exchange? Suppose I am sending my goods from India to out of India. I am selling my goods from out of India. That is, I am exporting my goods, or I am importing some goods from outside the India. Then obviously there will be foreign currency involved. So bank also deal in foreign exchange and bank help us in converting foreign currency in Indian rupee. Safe deposit facility. In bank, they also have locker facility. In that locker, you can keep your expensive ornaments. The locker can be opened in a bank only if you have fixed deposit. And bank also charge some locker charges for opening the locker in the bank. So that locker, in that locker, you can keep your expensive ornaments as well. Now I'm sharing another PPT with you. Now, what is the characteristics of a bank? What are the characteristics of a bank? Number one, dealing in money. A bank is a financial institution that deals with other people's money, that is, money given by depositors. What is the purpose of banking? Banking purpose is to deal in money. Bank deals with other people money. People deposit their money in bank, they are known as depositors. Now bank will invest that money in the market and earn interest. So bank purpose of banking is dealing in money, individual, firm, and company. A bank may be a firm, person, or a company. A banking company means a company which is in the business of banking. A bank can be a person also, means sole proprietor. A firm also means partnership, and a bank can also be a company. What is a banking company means a company which is in the business of banking is known as banking company. Acceptance of deposit. A bank accepts money from the people in the form of deposits, which are usually repayable on demand or after the expiry of a fixed period. It gives safety to the deposits of its customer. It also acts as a custodian of funds of its customers. So bank accept money from the people in the form of deposits, which are usually repayable on demand or after the expiry of a fixed period. So bank accept deposit from the public in the form of deposits, and bank will repay that money to the public whenever they demand. And if someone has opened a fixed deposit account, have made a fixed deposit in the bank, then fixed deposit money can only be get after the expiry of fixed period. Suppose I made a fixed deposit in bank for 5 years, so I will get that money after 5 years. It gives safety to the depositors of its customers. It acts as a custodian of funds of its customers. So bank act as a custodian of funds of its customer. Giving advances. A bank lends out money in the form of loans to those who require it for different purposes. A bank lends out money in the form of loans to those who require it for different purposes. So, when the bank gives you the loan, suppose if I require, I want to purchase a car, so through bank I can take a car loan. If I want to purchase a house, I can take a house loan from bank. If I want to start a business, I can take a business loan from bank. If I want to take a education loan, I can take a education loan from my bank. So bank lends out money in the form of loans to those who require it for different purposes. But taking loan from bank is not so easy. They will check each and everything. They will check your idea, your bank statements, your house, your business, everything. And when they are comfortable, when they are satisfied that this person is able to repay the installments, then they will give you the payment and withdrawal. A bank provides easy payment and withdrawal facilities to its customer in the form of checks and draft. It also brings money, it also brings back money in circulation. This money is in the form of checks, draft, etc. So, बच्चों, bank provide easy payment and withdrawal facility to its customer. You can easily deposit your money and you can easily withdraw your money from the banks through checks, demand draft, etc. It also brings back money in circulation. This money is in the form of check, draft, etc. Agency and utility services. A bank provides various banking facilities to its customer. A bank provides various banking facilities to its customer. Uh, for example, for example, they include general utility services and agency services. For example, I'm doing business and I have taken a car loan, a house loan, LIC is also going, and Mediclaim is also going. All these are at different time. In November, I have to pay car loan. In December, I have to pay house loan. In March, I have to pay education loan. And in December, I have to pay business loan. So, bank help you in paying your installments, in paying your LIC, Mediclaim, education loan installment, etc. And for these services, bank charge some money. The bank says that you do not need to worry. On your behalf, we will pay this money from your bank account when the time comes. Suppose your LIC comes on 15th of March. So we will automatically take out money on 15th of March from your bank account and pay to LIC. Suppose your Mediclaim comes on 29th of July. So automatically on 29th of July, we will take out the money from your account and we will give it to Mediclaim, etc. etc. So this way, your burden is reduced by the bank because you do not need to worry because bank is taking care of your burden. Bank will pay on your behalf. And for this facility, bank charge some amount. Profit and service organization. A bank is a profit-seeking institution having service-oriented approach. A bank is a profit-seeking institution. Bank is open to make profit. They have service-oriented approach. Bank does not produce any product. Banks are not manufacturers. They are service providers. They provide you the service. They keep your money safe. They lend money to the public. So they are providing service. They are service provider, not manufacturer. Ever increasing functions. Banking is an evolutionary concept. There is continuous expansion and diversion as regards the functions, services, and activities of a bank. Connecting link. Bank act as a connecting link between borrower and lender of money. Banks collect money from those who have surplus money and give the same to those who are in need of money. So bank act as a collecting link between the person who has surplus money and want to deposit their money safely in bank and the persons who are in need of the money bank to provide them loan. So bank act as a connecting link between the person who has surplus money and the person who are in need of money. So bank act as a connecting link between these two persons. Banking business. A bank's main activity should be to do business of banking, which should not be subsidiary to any other business. But so a bank's main activity is to do business of banking. This cannot be combined with any other business. Name identity. A bank should always add the word bank in its name to enable people to know that it is bank and that it is dealing in money. But so every bank they put money in their name. For example, SBI Bank, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, Central Bank of India. You see, in every name they have put the bank, the word bank because it is compulsory. A bank should have add the word bank in its name so that the people will be able to know that it is a bank and it is dealing in money. So these were the characteristics of bank: dealing in money, individual firm company, acceptance of deposit, giving advances, payment and withdrawal, agency and utility services, profit and service orientation, ever increasing functions, connecting link. Now, classification of banks. We are going to discuss classification of classification of banks in India. The banking system in India has been classified into two kinds. Number one, scheduled bank, and number two, non-scheduled bank. Now, what is scheduled bank and non-scheduled bank? So I told you about scheduled bank. Scheduled bank are those banks, scheduled banks are those banks which are covered under the second schedule of RBI Act 1934. The bank that satisfy the criteria laid down by Section 42, subsection 6, subsection A of the said Act, RBI include all those banks in this category. So, बच्चों RBI have a second schedule. RBI have made a second schedule. In that second schedule, they have some criteria, and the banks which satisfy all the criteria will be known as scheduled bank. If the banks which fulfill all the rules and regulations, all the conditions which is put in that second criteria, then they will be known as scheduled bank. Bank having a paid up capital of 5 lakh and over are qualified for scheduled bank. So बच्चों, one of the condition is if you want to become a scheduled bank, your paid up capital should be 5 lakh or more. So it means minimum paid up capital should be 5 lakh. The scheduled banks are further. Acha, these banks can take loan from RBI at bank rate. These banks can also take loan from RBI at a very nominal rate. Suppose I am running a bank. I have a total deposit of 1 crore, but I want to lend a loan of 1.5 crore. So remaining 50 lakh I can take loan from RBI at bank rate. So RBI gives loan to only scheduled bank. Scheduled banks are further classified into two different sectors: commercial banks and cooperative banks. We will discuss commercial and cooperative banks in detail. Non-scheduled bank. Simple. Sir, banks which are not included in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934 are non-scheduled bank. They do not follow all the banking rules laid by RBI. So, बच्चों, banks which are included in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934 are scheduled bank, and banks which are not included in second schedule of RBI Act 1934 are non-scheduled bank, and these do not follow all banking rules made by RBI. To qualify as a non-scheduled bank, it should be corporation instead of sole proprietorship or partnership. Should have a paid-up capital of more than 5 lakh rupees. Should satisfy RBI that it won't cause harm to the interest of depositor. So, also to qualify as a non-scheduled bank, it should be a corporation in company, not sole proprietorship or partnership. It means sole proprietorship firm and partnership firm cannot form a non-scheduled bank. Non-scheduled bank can be formed only by a corporation. They should have a paid-up capital of more than 5 lakh. Should satisfy RBI that it will not cause harm to the interest of depositor. Now list of types of bank in India. Number one, central bank. Number two, commercial banks. Number three, cooperative banks. Number four, local area banks. Number five, specialized banks. Number six, small finance banks. Number seven, payment banks. Number one, central bank. RBI is the central bank in India that governs and regulates the other banks having throughout the country. So RBI is a central bank in India. The mother of all the banks is RBI. All the banks will have to follow the rules and regulations which is set by the RBI. RBI is the mother of all the banks in India. Bankers Bank. RBI is the central bank in India that governs and regulates all the other banks working throughout the country. So every bank which is working in this country will have to follow the rules and regulations which is set by the RBI. RBI, yani Reserve Bank of India, guides other banks, issue currency, implement monetary policy, and supervise the financial system. So RBI guide other bank. RBI issues the currency. RBI implement monetary policy and supervise the financial system. It is also called the bankers bank. RBI is also called the bankers bank. Commercial banks. Commercial banks are regulated under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 to operate on a commercial basis and earn a profit. These banks have a unified structure and can be run by any government or private entity and treat all sectors, whether rural or urban. So these commercial banks are regulated under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 to operate on a commercial basis. As the name suggests, they operate on commercial basis and their main motive is to earn profit. The main motive of running a commercial bank is to earn profit. They have a unified banking structure and can be run by government or private entity. A commercial bank can run by government also, like SBI. It can run by private entity also, like ICICI Bank. They run in both urban area as well as rural area. Cooperative banks. Those banks, those banks which run by an elected managing committee, run on no gain, no loss, and are registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912 are known as cooperative banks. So these cooperative banks, they run for the purpose of providing service to the farmers, small scale industrialists, small scale businessmen, so that they can develop in future, they can grow in future. Because the farmers, rural area people, small businessmen, they do not get loan from these commercial banks because the commercial bank require very much documents like ITR and bank statement and many other documents which are not with these farmers. So cooperative bank works for the betterment of people, works for the benefit of society. Their motive is not to earn profit but to provide benefit to the society. These banks finance agricultural activities like farming, hatching, etc. in rural area and small business, self-employment and industries in non-rural area. LAB, Local Area Bank. These banks are introduced in India in 1996 and are registered under the Companies Act 1956. These are organized by the private sector, and there are only four local area banks in India. So, बच्चों, lab local area banks are introduced in India in 1956 and are registered under the Companies Act 1956. They are organized by the private sector, and there are only four local banks in India. That is in South India. List of four local area banks. Number one, Coastal Local Area Bank Limited. Number two, Capital Local Area Bank Limited. Number three, Krishna Bhima Samruddhi Local Area Bank Limited. And number four, Subhadra Local Area Bank Limited. Specialized bank. As the name suggests, these banks are established for a specific purpose only. By the name also we can imagine that these banks are established for specific purpose only. These are known as specialized bank. The banks which are established for specific purpose, banks which are established for specific purpose only are known as specialized bank. Number one, SIDBI means Small Industry Development Bank of India. Small Industry Development Bank of India. These banks are set up to provide loan facilities to small scale industries and businesses. This bank is also responsible for providing modern technology equipment to small scale industries. So, बच्चों, Small Industry Development Bank of India. These banks are set up to provide loan, as the name suggests, to small scale industrialists and business. The bank is responsible for providing modern technology equipment to small scale industry so that they can do the production work and they can grow, they can develop in future. The main purpose of this bank is to provide financial assistance to small scale industries for their development in India. Exim Bank, EXIM, Exim Bank. Full form of EXIM, Exim is Export and Import Bank. Export and Import Bank, that means Exim Bank, is responsible for providing loan or any financial assistance with the export or import of goods. What is the meaning of export of goods? Export of goods means selling goods from outside the India, selling goods to outside India. Import of goods means purchasing goods in India from outside the India. Exports means selling goods outside the India. Importing means purchasing goods from outside to India. So this import export they involve foreign currency. Now bank is responsible for providing loan or any financial assistance for the export or import of the goods. Last, NABARD, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development. The bank is responsible for providing financial assistance to rural, handicraft, village and agricultural development. As the name suggests, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So these banks provide financial assistance to rural and agriculture development. These banks provide financial assistance for the development of rural and agriculture. So we have discussed about central bank, commercial banks, cooperative banks, local area banks, specialized banks. In specialized bank, there are three types of bank. Number one, SIDBI, Small Industry Development Bank of India. Number two, Exim Bank, Export and Import Bank. And number three, NABARD, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development. In next class, we are going to take it further and we will finish this topic, that is types of bank. So thank you everyone for joining. Please everyone take care, stay safe, stay healthy.